Hi, this is Reporter's Take. I'm Sakshi, Batra, and with me is my colleague Pramiti, and we are here to talk about the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill and how it looks to cater to the differently abled and the driver's licenses for them now, and moves towards a more inclusive approach towards driving as well. Thanks a lot, Pramiti, for joining in. Now, I want to understand first, what is the current scenario? How do the differently abled right now get these driver's licenses? And if there is an issue, how does the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill really address that?
So the Motor Vehicles Bill Amendment of 2019 basically says that it plans to enable licensing authorities to get driver's licenses for the differently abled. Now, before this, there have been a lot of court orders, and Center has even issued guidelines, but they haven't had a proper rule regarding this.
Okay.
So this is the first time that they're going to come up with a rule. And another thing is that it's not very clear what would be the eligibility criteria for the licenses. But as far as we've seen the orders and the center's guidelines, most probably the people with blindness, with mental health issues, and those with limited motor skills will not be able to obtain licenses. And another change is that earlier, the differently abled, they have modified vehicles. So these modified vehicles are usually called invalid carriages in the previous act.
Okay.
So to make it a more inclusive term, now they're going to be called as adapted vehicles in the new act.
All right. So that looks like a lot of promising step that the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill really hopes to take after it gets passed in the Parliament as well. But how will the differently abled now be able to get these licenses? What were the issues before, also before this proposal really came about?
So first of all, when a license is issued, you need to get the invalid carriage title for your car from the concerned ITO before you even apply for the license. So you need to go and apply for registration, and the modification needs to be approved from the concerned RTO. Now this is mainly done to make sure that the adapted vehicle is meeting the emission requirements and safety requirements, and is also suitable for the person who's using it.
Absolutely.
And apart from that, after you're done with that, then you have to approach the licensing authority. You have to apply for the driver's license, and along with that, issue a medical certificate for disability. And after that, if you clear the test, now the test is as it is for everybody, it's no different. So there's a written test and there's a practical test. So once you clear the written test, and for the practical test, you have to get your modified vehicle to clear the test. And after that, your license will be issued if you clear that.
Absolutely. So that looks like a good step as well. But going forward from here, what are the challenges that are going to be in implementation as well? And, how will this really change the scenario? Do we have any statistics as to how many differently abled people will benefit from this?
So there's no current estimate, but as disability rights activists I've spoken to, most of them say that more than 80% of the disabled drivers don't have driver's licenses because of a lot of issues. For instance, if you go to an RTO, the test and procedure, everything is conducted on the first floor, and there is no lift. So the person will not be able to get a license in that case. So for these infrastructure and systemic challenges, there needs to be a roadmap. And there is nothing as of now in the Motor Vehicles Bill, but I'm sure as we progress, there will be steps taken for this as well.
All right. Thanks a lot then, Pramiti, for sharing these bright ideas with us also on the Motor Vehicles Amendment Bill and how it looks to actually cater to the differently abled and provide driver's license to them going forward as well, so that we can have more inclusive driving in a country like India, where there are more than 80% of the differently abled people, as per reports, that still don't have a legal driver's license, and they quite, have a lot of problem whenever they travel on Indian roads as well. Thanks a lot for watching us in this edition of Reporter's Take, and do stay logged on to moneycontrol.com for more news and updates. Thanks for watching.